Hello everyone, it's Mrs. P. I am back with a video that I have not done a check-in in a long time. I feel like I have been away from the YouTube world forever. I don't know, it's just so weird being on vacation and having no access to like YouTube and streaming because although we did have like the social package for Wi-Fi just so that we could keep in touch with, the people at home, through Messenger and things like that. I don't know. I don't know what to do with my hands, so I'm like touching things. But anyway, I am back from our cruise. Today is Monday night. We got back Sunday night around 10 p.m. Rolled in late. Came in, like literally just brought all the luggage in, laid it all over the living room floor. I had done some laundry on the trip, so we had one suitcase full of dirty clothes and the other two had the clean clothes. We were tired, exhausted, so we kind of just went straight to bed. And so I got home from work today, and it's just been a mad dash to just get laundry done, things put away, just all the little things. I haven't been home. I missed 2 weekends, and weekends are when I do all the house cleaning. And so it's been, although I left my house clean, before we went, like the toilets and things like that have just sat for 2 weeks. So just trying to catch up on all that stuff, water all the plants, do the things. So it is, well, let's see here. It is after 9 o'clock, and I still have things going on. I've got laundry still washing. So I wanted to go ahead and do my check-in for the week that ended on the 10th of April, and then kind of just start with the next budget. I had full intentions of doing the next week's and filming that before I left for our trip, but we had family come in. We just had a lot of stuff going on, so I didn't get that video done. So I'm just going to kind of play catch up now. So with that said, I do want to say our trip was absolutely wonderful. We went, down there to Miami. We drove to Miami with my niece, or actually it's my nephew and his fiance, but, I call them, but honestly, they're like my kids, and their children, an 8-year-old and a 3-year-old. And we all rode in one vehicle together with my 13-year-old. And, I was kind of worried about how that would go, kind of being smushed together in one vehicle and traveling that long of a distance. But we had the best time. When we left, we left at night, so the kids slept through the night. But on the way back, it was daytime, so although they took naps, we were up, and they are just the funniest kids. I just loved it. It was great. Now our bodies were scrunched and uncomfortable, but as far as just like, we enjoyed being with them. We had a lot of fun. The cruise was amazing. I don't want to take up too much of your time, but we had a really good time. We did have a few things, that happened that were unexpected, and I'll get into that in a little bit. But other than that, we had no vehicle problems, no problems getting on the ship or, on the trip. So it was nice. And I need a vacation to recover from vacation, and you guys know what that means. All right, so let's get started because I've been really chatty, but I feel like I've got to catch you up on everything, and I'll remember stuff as I go, I'm sure. All right, and honestly, as I was going over my budget, I'm like, oh goodness, it's been so long, like I kind of forgotten like all the things. All right, so when we left off, this is our second week of April, and we expected $950 in rollover. We actually had $1,236.98. All right, and then Mr. P, his income once again, it's coming just under the 1,000. It's been over 1,000 every week until this week, so I don't know what happened, but that's okay. All right, so then we had nothing unexpected come in, so our total income was $2,216.50. All right, so as far as our bills go, we only had a few. Car wash did come out for $42.79. Life 360 came out for $8.55, and Mr. P's Hobby came out for $61. And so that was all that we had for our fixed expenses. So that came in at $112.34. I'm trying to talk a little bit quiet. My husband is in the bed. He's had some medical things going on, so he's in bed early. All right, so this leaves us with $2,104.16. All right, so I'm going to move that down here to our savings and sinking funds. All right, and I took out the $150 for month ahead, $225 for sinking funds, $40 for the mini challenges, and $50 for savings, which is going to pay back our savings from how much we owed for taxes, so we had to take it from our emergency fund. So this section stayed the same at $465, and it left us with $1,664.16. I don't even know if I'm zoomed in enough, but I'm going to just leave it as it is. I'm going to move that amount up here. This is our cash envelope and wallet section. $1,664.16. I took out $150 for groceries, $20 for pet supplies, $20 for household, $50 for Mr. P, $75 for Mrs. P, $20 for Miss P, $20 for sporting events. Eating out, I didn't budget anything, and we did eat out, but it was part of our vacation money, so I'm not putting anything there because that was in cash. Gas, I did take out $60, and unbudgeted. This is where things kind of went wrong or unplanned or whatever you want to say. Okay, so the first thing happened before the trip. My daughter wanted to get her hair done before the trip. She usually gets her hair cut, and I don't know, sometimes she gets highlights, usually twice a year, not very often. And so the last time she had it done was before school started in August. So she talked me into making her an appointment. I only had $30 in the beauty fund, and her hair actually came in higher than mine. So I ended up having to pay $90 out of the pocket for her hair, which she loves the girl that does her hair. She's young, and she knows all the cool stuff to do with, teenage hair. So I just let her have that. Twice a year, it's not too bad. All right, and then another unbudgeted expense, and it's actually multiple expenses, but I'm going to I added them all together, and it came in at $383.73. And if you've watched my channel, this is really unusual for us to spend that much that we weren't planning on. But this happened kind of just before and on vacation, really on vacation. Just some expenses. My husband's had some medical stuff going on. I'm not going to get into details because he probably wouldn't want me to share. It's just something that he's had to deal with and we weren't expecting. It's kind of popped up as a surprise, and so we had to take care of that while we were out of town. And then we had a few other things that we had to pick up at the Walmart down in Miami, and I just kind of lumped it all together. So some of it's medical, some of it's just some things that we needed that we didn't take with us, and so that kind of threw a whammy in the budget. But that happens, and that's why you have a budget, so that you keep track of these things. I'll be honest, I didn't even want to like do the budget when I got home because I knew there was a lot of expenses that were not planned, and I am one of those people that, you know, I want it to be like exactly how I want it, like planned it out to be, and so I avoid looking at the bank account when I know that it's not going to be what I want it to be or need it to be. So anyway, I had to finally sit down and just, you know, reconcile everything. And so this section came out to be $888.73. Okay, and so that left us with $775.43, which I'm going to move that down here. And I already put $25 toward this snowball. Actually, I should have added that over in the income section. So I'm not actually going to subtract it because this came from a mini challenge. So it's not money that came out of the account. It was just extra money that I put in the account and paid toward our credit card that we're trying to pay off. So I'm not going to subtract this because I did deposit it. I just didn't account for it here. So if that makes sense. So I'm just going to go ahead and leave our leftover balance at $775.43, and that's what we will move over to the next budget, which I did not do before vacation, and we're already into the week. Actually, I'll be honest with you, I did a draft of it, so I wasn't going to just go off on vacation without having some sort of a plan for that week while we were gone, but I did not film it, and it did not turn out the way I expected because, as you can see, before, here, let me zoom you back in. Before I found out how much our rollover was, we were expecting $950, but that came in, you know, several hundred higher. So this amount right here, 957, should have been much higher, and it ended up being much lower. So the budget that I had drafted did not come out like I wanted it to. So I actually just kind of started over. I whited out some stuff because I thought it would be silly to put numbers that I know are not going to be anywhere close. So I'm going to just go ahead and start this off. This is going to be April 11th through April 17th. And since today is the 15th, we've only got 2 more days of this, you know, pay period or this budget period. So I will probably do my check-in in a couple of days. And so it's not going to be much because since we were gone out of town, we didn't have a lot of things that we took money for. So with that said, our rollover, which I completely had to white out because it was nowhere near what I anticipated it to be. So I'm going to put nothing in the budgeted part and just go ahead and put $775.43 here. And I already know that Mr. P's paycheck, I always budget $1,000. It actually came in a little bit higher at $1,018.44. And other, now, because of when this budget was planned before the trip, I'm going to put 0, but I'll talk about something when I do my check-in right here. I don't know how else to say that, and I'm going to move this amount over here. So let's see. Well, I didn't even add that up. Let's see here. I feel like my energy is very low because I'm so tired, and I apologize because I hated my first video back to be blah. I'm going to put it over here. $1,793.87 because this amount might change because something might come in here. But these 2 amounts will not change. Okay. Hope that makes sense. Okay, so the only bill we would have had, or we did have, was iRobot. It was going to be budgeted at 32. It's actually already cleared the bank at 3103, so I can go ahead and put that there. Move this down here, 3103. I'm still going to subtract this from this amount from this amount, just to keep things like I typically do, so that I can do a check-in. All right, so that would have left us with $1,761.87. Did I subtract this from that? Yes, I did. Okay, and then this section, I had already talked about in my last video, or my, a video that I did so long ago, I don't even remember which one, that I was pulling the money from the prior week, well, from the 3rd through the 10th. Anyway, so I'm not going to pull anything here, and I'm not going to pull anything here, but I do have 2 debts that have to come out, and actually only one of them have come out. Okay, so we got $1,761.87. We had Barclay that's supposed to come out, and credit union. And spoiler alert, I was going to pay the minimum payment, or what I had been paying on this, at $70. Let me go ahead and put 77 here. But because of the extra money that I've had and put toward it, my balance was only $91.23. And I was like, there is no way I'm going to just pay $70 and leave a balance of $21.23. So officially, as of today, I paid off the credit union credit card. Now, there's possible chance that there's a little bit of interest that will come onto this, but if there is, it would only be a couple dollars. So I'm going to go ahead and call that paid off. I'm so excited about that. So if you've made it this far in my boring blah video, the credit union card is officially paid off, and this Barclay card will be our new snowball card. But as of right now, that has not come out, and I'm not planning on putting anything extra toward the snowball, because technically I put it already toward the credit union card. So this section, I'm going to just go ahead and put 147 and subtract that from there. And that should leave us around $1,614.87. So that is that for this budget. I really should, with the check-in, I should have done like the grocery and the gas check-in and all of that stuff. But I am just barely even functioning at this point. So I am going to not do that on this video, and I will catch that up on one of the next ones. So with that said, I am going to go ahead and end this video. I do apologize that my energy and my just I don't know, I don't feel like I'm myself today, but I'm just really tired, having to come in late after being gone for 8-9 days and then go straight into work. And the kids were great today. It was a good day at school, so I can't complain about that. I'm just really tired. So I'm going to go ahead and say goodnight, and I'm going to blow out the candle, and there's Nick just resting in there. I bet he's wondered where we were because it's been so long. But you guys, thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.